Just going to hang on about 2 more minutes and then we'll get going. Well, if we have any stragglers join us while we're kind of chatting here for a minute, I'll just let them in as we kind of go. And so, Jeannie and Emily, I just want to applaud you both at the outset. As I kind of mentioned last week, this is a pretty popular time of year to not really be sprinting towards the finish line. And the great part about that is for you two, the folks that are doing the activities, there's 80% of the rest of the business that aren't doing the activities. So that really just puts you that much further ahead for next year. So thank you for being here and we really appreciate it. So you both are out of Sunset Corridor, correct? Or not Sunset, excuse me, Southern Oregon.
I'm Sunset Corridor.
You are Sunset. Okay, great. All right. Sorry, sometimes I get a little mixed up on who's from where. Perfect.
I'm in Roseburg.
And so this is our final Ignite of 2022. This will be our final accountability check-in of 2022. And then tomorrow we have the RE quiz, which is just a fun day. Which even if it's just us, we'll have a good time with it. I made a fun little quiz to kind of send us out for the year. So we'll have a good time with that. So Jeannie, how are things going with you?
I have a showing tomorrow for one of my own properties. I've got hopefully an offer coming in on another. Got with my lender and got a brochure made up. And it's about home loans, because I swear anybody that's new to real estate don't know about the different types of home loans and they're confused. So I've been going around to businesses. So this will be the next thing that I take to those businesses. So anybody coming in new to the area has, an idea of what to talk to their lender about.
Amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Emily, how about you? How are things going?
Well, Santa brought me a new computer and that's changed my life.
Oh, I can tell you're coming in
Yes.
differently. This is fantastic.
I wish I would have done it a long time ago.
Oh my goodness. Well, great.
Yeah, I can work on my buyer presentation now and not wait for little circles to spin. It's amazing. So I've been doing that, and I'm showing a house next week out near Wamick for some people that seem super interested. So I'm excited about that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Keep trucking along.
Amazing. Thank you. Oh, it looks like Ashley stepped away there. Let's give her a couple seconds. Well, while we wait for Ashley to step back just so we can check in with her. There she is. Hey, Ashley, how's it going? How are things going with you? Hear back from that offer yet, or?
I have not heard back yet, but they have until tomorrow. So today was the day that the seller was supposed to get those results.
Okay.
And then have until tomorrow to kind of like absorb them and decide what she was doing from there.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Just on the waiting game. And then I've just been reaching out to several people I've had lots of people say they're waiting till the spring. So I've been trying to work on that script so that I can get better at kind of replying and navigating to that objection, because it seems to be the one that I'm hearing the most.
So what have you kind of been using?
I have just been talking about like the competition has been like my biggest go-to, that like a lot of people say they're waiting till the spring. So if you wait until the spring, you might run into more offers where you have to have a better offer to get your house, you know, to get your offer accepted for that house, where right now there might be less offers and you could potentially have more room to like have a seller credit or not be going above asking to get the place that you really want.
I love that. That's my go-to also. Fantastic. And Sandy, since you just joined us, can we do a quick check-in with you? How are things going over there?
Pretty good. Sun's out and I haven't done much else today.
No, it's really patchy weather out there. So I drove from Eugene up to the Salem Market Center today. The fog was so thick in Eugene. And then as soon as I hit Albany, it was a beautiful, bright, sunny day. And then as soon as I got back to Salem, it was, just crazy fog again. So yeah. So as you all probably remember, she has already taught for us once this session. We have today the TL of our Southern Oregon Market Center, Kayri. And Kayri has been in the real estate industry for 33 years, including working in title, escrow, lending, wealth management. She has 18 years of experience as a licensed broker, working with top producing teams in the Eugene and Medford area. She was an integral member of a development team on 4 subdivisions in Eugene and Springfield, and her superpower is consulting and supporting agents to reach their maximum potential. I can't think of anyone better to send us out on our last Ignite of the quarter before we come back next January. I'll hand it over to Kayri.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Ladies, it was so nice to hear you this morning and see how your progress is going. And Janine, yay for being on the leaderboard for our 4th quarter takeover. You were acknowledged on State of the Industry this morning. Congratulations. That is a big deal. Let me do a quick screen share here and let's get rocking and rolling. Now, let's do this first. Let's get that slideshow up. And thank you so much for having me while we do this. There we go. Can everybody see my slide? All right, make sure we're looking at the right one. All right. This is an amazing class. As I was reading through this, I was thinking, wow, what better way to set you up for continuing out in your business. Now, real quick, show of hands. It says it's the last one. So who's completed a full Ignite with me today? It's the end of a full one. Who's in the middle of your Ignite? Who started kind of in the middle of this session? Okay, so you're going to hear me say the last one a lot. This is the last one. It may not be your last one, but just take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to stick you over here and make sure I can keep up with questions. Because of the way I have you on my screen, please raise your hand or your virtual hand if you need to get my attention. Try to get everybody's. All right. So welcome. Today we are covering Plan for Your Future. This is, like I said, a really good course. I wish I had this when I was striking out on my own back in 2004. So what we're going to do is we are going to just kind of go through the lessons for today. And we're going to start with page 20.2 in your workbook with today's agenda. Does everybody have that workbook handy? We will be working in the workbook. Today is the final lesson of Ignite. You've learned so much, and I'm sure you instinctively know there's so much more to experience and learn along the way. That's normal. Ignite has given you the foundation for building a big business, and you will embark on that journey after today. And it sounds like some of you are already taking this all in stride. Today, we close out the transaction segment by both looking back and looking forward. And we'll discuss a bit about finances and having a smart money business. Talking about money can be uncomfortable for some people. This is a safe place. We've all stumbled, we've all fell, we've all succeeded with money. We're not going to go deep into finances, but we are going to share a little bit about what we can do to create successful careers. We'll follow up from the previous session on getting to the close by getting paid. That's exciting, right? We're all here to get paid. By the end of today, not only will you complete Ignite, you will understand the importance of running a smart money business to achieve a successful business, review the success system to understand wins and opportunities, and identify different learning paths to design your future plan at Keller Williams. Excuse me, just one second. There's going to be an evaluation at the end of this, so we'll take a few minutes to do that. So I look forward to spending a couple of hours with you today. Let's begin by setting our sights on a big future for ourselves. After all, that's what we're all aiming for, correct? There's a line in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. To have a better chance of hitting a target, aim high. Aiming high begins with thinking big, and that's what today's session is mostly about. So, how you think matters, and how you think in the beginning really matters. Our mindset around our ability and our business is going to help us exceed great things. What are your thoughts on this quote? How you think matters, how you think in the beginning really matters. Would anyone would like to share?
I just think it depends. If you have a crappy attitude, you're going to do crappy. If you have an amazing attitude, you're going to do amazing. If you think that you can do everything, then you can. If you think you can't, then you can't.
I like that, Jeannie. Anyone else? We're doing the shift in our market center. Some of you have done it or are doing it in yours too. And mindset is 95% of this business is being in the right mindset, right? When you have tough days, if you're in the right mindset, it's going to get you through those tough days. When we say thinking matters, we're talking about mindset. Throughout Ignite, we've talked about the importance of mindset because mindset matters, not just today, not just during Ignite. It matters every day. Sometimes mindset turns to doubt, disappointment, or fear. And these are times to be aware of and to quickly correct. It's within your control. Now let's examine where you are now compared to where you were at the beginning of Ignite. Where is your head? Do you feel aligned with your heart? Are your feet ready to do the actions that you need to do to be successful? What are some ways you've already adjusted your thinking? Take a moment to write that down in your participant's guide on page 20.3. What is your mindset? Are you aligned with your heart? Are you ready to take action and have a successful day? Would anyone like to share what they wrote down?
I don't know exactly how it was stated, but somebody had shared this earlier in an earlier meeting that champions behave like champions before they're champions. And I liked that.
I love that.
I wrote that after going through all the classes, I feel more confident and better equipped, which is a good feeling. And I love that it's always been reiterated that like you're able to reach out for help and it's a continuous learning process.
Great, thanks, Emily. Anyone else? Using affirmations and removing limiting thoughts and setting big goals are going to help us along our way. Sharing with an accountability partner and calling people is good and produces business. Remember, Keller Williams' belief system, alongside with the 6 personal perspectives, helps keep your mindset strong and positive. Win-win or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all. And success results through people. Some of these will come more easily at first, and some you'll have an aha moment in the middle of the night and you'll go, oh, that's what that really, really means. You've checked your mindset, and now it's time to check back on your original value proposition. You've spent nearly 4 weeks in daily success systems times communicating with your contacts, and now let's re-examine the value proposition you built in week 1. Turn back in your participant guide, and that is let's see. Let's see, we're going to session the value proposition that you completed in session 4. We're going to take a few minutes to review and change any of it if you feel that it needs refinement. So that is on page section 4.3, so 4.3 in your guide. Go ahead and read your value proposition and ask yourself, does my value proposition truly reflect who I am? The value I bring and the benefit to my clients and the benefit my clients will experience working with me. Am I confident sharing my value proposition with my contacts? And if not, how can I make it easier to express my value? Go ahead and review and rewrite any part of your value proposition that's not in alignment with who you are now and the things that you've taken away from the class so far. Let me give you a few minutes to work on that. Okay. Who would like to share any existing or revised portion of your value proposition? Has anything changed since you first wrote that? It's exactly the same as when you first wrote it. Would someone like to share what their value proposition is?
I'll read mine. It hasn't changed a lot, but I would say like I feel more comfortable sharing it, and that it I feel better about like it fitting for me. Mm-hmm. So I wrote, as you navigate your real estate transaction, I will use my local knowledge backed by the strong reputation of Keller Williams to help accomplish your real estate goals in the fastest time frame possible with the least number of problems.
I love that. Memorize that. Get that. Just that's your elevator pitch. That's great.
Thanks.
Does anybody else have one or part of one that you'd like to share? That's okay if you don't. All right, now let's look back at Ignite session 1 in your participation guide. That's one. It's going to be 1.16, I believe. And we're going to look at where you envisioned a big life for yourself. And we're going to take a moment to reread what you wrote on that day for your vision, your future, and your big life. Is there anything that you'd change after 4 weeks? Are you thinking big enough? Go ahead and reread that and rewrite any part of that. In order to have the big life you envision for yourself, you must be realistic about your income, or more specifically, your profit goals. You must think big and aim high. Your business is thriving and your life is everything you dreamed of. Your customers rave about experience and value you provide, and think of you when they have real estate needs. Your family and friends are so proud of the success and you are consistently referring business your way. You are helping others live their dream of owning a home because you are focused on helping them get what they desire. You are building the foundation and momentum for your entire career and gaining relationships and experiences and the income you desire. You are the top agent in your market center or rookie of the year if you are new. You are poised to hire a part-time assistant to handle your 80% while you take care of the 20% that grows your business. All of these things support your big life. This is a quote from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent about the big why. One thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. We introduced the concept of the big why in day one, and we know that it takes time for each of us to think about and determine a concrete big why for ourselves. Moving forward after Ignite, it's essential to have a clear picture of your big why, since it will keep you motivated and on track to meet your goals. As the quote states, it's your purpose, mission, or need that gives you focus. All right, let's dig into that a little bit more. Your big why is big. It is important to you. It gets you out of bed every morning, excited to get busy, with a task list waiting for you when you get to your computer. It brings you energy and focus. It's the ultimate turbocharger. It's already present, even if you haven't thought about it. Your big why can be really big, or it can be small big. It doesn't matter. It's whatever drives you. Your big why should incorporate all of the people in your life and the good that you can provide for them. Turn to your participants guide and answer these questions and write out a big why for yourself. We are on page 20.5. Get clear on what matters to you and write it down. What topics or causes are most important to you? What gives you energy and fuels you personally? What is something you would do even if you were not paid? What do you envision for yourself and for your future? Give you a few minutes to think about those and write those out. Hi, Jennifer. We're working on page 20.5 of your workbook, and we are filling in the section on the big why.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were tomorrow. Oh no, I'm so bummed. Okay.
That's
thank you.
okay. You're here bright and, well, early enough to catch the important stuff.
All right. Thank you.
We just spoke a little bit to mindset, and now we're talking about what topics and causes are important to you.
Okay.
What fuels you personally? What is something you would do even if you were not paid? And what you envision for yourself in your future. These are the things that make up your big why.
Okay. Thank you.
In order to have a big life, you have to have a big why. A great aspect of a big why is it helps you say yes to what's important and no to the things that are not important to you. While you're writing and thinking about your big why, I'd like to share mine with you. As you heard, I've been doing real estate for a little bit, so mine's kind of evolved. It used to be money. It used to be the Mercedes in the driveway. By the way, I got rid of that. And now my big why is to be an impact player, to leave a legacy for my family, to participate in and teach wealth building, to create successful people in my wake.
I like it.
Would anybody like to share their big why?
Mine is financial freedom and time flexibility for my family.
I love that. I completely understand that. Thank you, Emily. Would someone else like to share theirs? As big or as little as it is.
I think my would be helping people begin their path toward generational wealth.
I love that, Sandy. Thank you. What ahas so far do you have about mindset and your future? I think we heard it a little earlier that your mindset, like getting in the right mindset, is going to get you in the right place, right? That that ability to be. What was the quote? Who had that quote earlier? Was that Ashley? Yeah.
The champions behave like champions before they're champions.
Yes, love that. All right, so on page 2014, if you're feeling comfortable about moving away from your big why, let me know if you need more time. We're going to start out this day with the importance of running a smart money business. It's our intention that each one of you achieves the goals that you set out and end up being successful in your business. And like I said earlier, this money conversation's not always comfortable for folks, but this is a safe place, and we're not going to go too deep in your finances, but we do need to talk about how to be alert and aware of the money side of our business, or that will drive you and you will not be working the big why side of your business. So who loves accounting and to keep books and Google spreadsheets and all of those fantastic, yeah, not many people do. You get into this business because of your skills. You get into this business because you enjoy working with people. You want to see other people have great success in real estate, and you have a great set of skills. What many lack are money management skills. So let's begin with some financial knowledge. And don't worry, you don't have to be an accountant or a tax advisor. You just need to know when to consult with the experts. And you may have heard it before. In your role, you get to be the source of the source. Today, I'm here to be your source of the source. Remember these? Your 6 big jobs: lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments, present to buyers and sellers and get agreement, show buyers and market sellers, write, negotiate contracts, coordinate the sale to closing, and manage money. Let's return for a moment to number 6, manage the money. You're going to get paid for all of the diligent work that you did to help your buyers and sellers transact business. And that's what you're here to do, after all, to get paid and develop a big business for yourself, right? It's important to remember that getting paid in the real estate industry is different from the salary you may have gotten before. The check you get upon closing a deal is not to be put into your pocket or spent. Nope, nope, nope. There will be expenses to pay and the ever-present taxes that must be saved for and paid every quarter. Who remembers where the commission goes? Typically 50% goes to the co-op agent. A third goes to the market center to cover company dollar, franchise fee, and royalty fees. Roughly another third goes back into your business to cover marketing, operating expenses, signs, your car, your phone, anything else that you need to conduct business and grow. And don't forget, you must save to pay taxes. And finally, you get your share. That's a lot different than thinking you're getting a full commission, isn't it? As we told you before, an important habit to start right now is to always put money away for your taxes first. There are many stories of highly successful agents who didn't do that. They didn't have that habit, and they ended up with a huge tax bills and penalties at the end of the year. And that's no fun for anybody. This is a good time to remind you that there is a KWU course called Profitability Agent Financials.
Where do we find that?
I'll give you some of that later. It's in KW Connect.
Oh, okay.
We'll go through some of the places where you can find some of these education materials that we're going to talk about. All right. Let's look at an example of these 2 different scenarios. You're going to be on page 20.8 of your workbook. These are 2 different scenarios of transaction closed by a solo agent, Jessica Campbell, and her share of the commission is $9,000. This is going to feel a little bit like your real estate exam, but we're going to make it as fun as humanly possible. Study these 2 scenarios and answer the questions, and we will review them together. So We've got two scenarios on the screen. We've got a sold commission and paid to the order of Jessica Campbell, a commission split, and a personal bank account and Jessica's wallet on one side of the screen. And on the other side of the screen, we've got the sold commission and then Jessica's commission check, the business bank account with a deposit, and the personal bank account with a deposit that breaks down further into taxes, state taxes, a self-employment tax, and Jessica's wallet. Is the $9,000 commission Jessica receives profit, income, or revenue?
Revenue?
That $9,000 is income. We call that your gross commissionable income. That's your 2.5% buyer side commission that's listed on the MLS or whatever side you get. So that is gross commission income. Profit is what's left over to grow your business, save for taxes, and fund your personal life. It's important to know the difference between income and profit, and we'll get to what the breakdown that gets you to profit. Why is Jessica getting a check for $5,760 if her commission was $9,000?
Company dollar.
That's right. The market center fees were deducted before Jessica's check was cut. Out of the gross commissionable income are splits and referrals. Those come out first.
Do you know? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering, do we get taxed on that 9,000 or the 5,700?
You get taxed on the 9,000.
Even though we pay out people?
You write off your payout.
Huh. Oh. And the payout to the market center.
Yeah, you write that off.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay.
All right. Which scenario, left or right on your screen, is more financially sound? Left would be the first scenario, right would be the second scenario. Number 2, the second one, where Jessica puts 30% into her business account so she can pay her business related expenses. What makes that financially sound?
Never gets behind.
She's saving money so she can pay for the taxes on time due, and those are due quarterly. So that's, I always say put 38. They say 30 is a nice round number. In Oregon, I would say 38%. It feels like a big chunk of change, but then depending on what your write-offs are at the end of the year, that's going to come back to you. But if some years, the way that you write off expenses, like you can only write them off every 4 years. So you'll have a big expense like your first year in business, and then you won't be able to reclaim that for another 4 years out, like your car payments or things like that. So that 38% gives you a little bit of a buffer if it goes up a year, and if it goes down, then you've got some extra money for Disneyland. Okay, in the second scenario, Jessica is saving 40% of her income for taxes. This may be a high number, and it's best to check with a CPA to determine the rate to which you should save for taxes. I feel confident with that number. Most agents receive little or no guidance on how to handle their first or any of their commission checks, and they end up in scenario 1. And then it comes time to pay taxes in February, and they want 1/3 of what you netted or what you grossed, and that's not comfortable. Your team leader in your market center may have a recommendation for CPA in your area if you're not already working with a CPA. Incorporate these financially sound business practices into your business from the start, every transaction that you close. So looking at the option number 2, the one on the right-hand side of the page, really look at how she put money back into her business account and money into her personal account. She's putting money back into the business by saving that $1,700, and money into her personal account is going to pay her state and federal taxes. And then she'll be able to pull some aside to live on. Money is good for the good it can do. Now that we have a clearer understanding of the importance of being financially sound, let me ask, what is the purpose of business? It's profit, right? It's making money, right? At the end of the day, we can't do any of the wonderful things that we want to do to support our big why without money. Money is good for the money that it can do for you, for your family, for your community. What good will you have your money create for you? Anyone have a cause that's dear to their heart, or a goal that they want to do with their family, or?
My house for me and my daughter.
I love that. I'm a geek. I like to use my money to reinvest in my education so that I can sit here and make millionaires day after day after day. Like I said, I want to leave financial wealth in my wake.
I have a question about the taxes.
Yep.
Does everyone file them quarterly?
No.
So some people just do the regular once a year?
Yeah. The ebbs and flows of the real estate industry, people pay quarterly just so that they can be up on those. It makes it more consistent, and it spreads that payment out so you're not having to give a big chunk of change all at once. Mm-hmm. Most agents are prefer to do it that way, the quarterlies.
Okay.
All right, we're jumping over to page 20.19, the flow of money. So let's explore the difference between income and profit and the way you think it can change the outcome of your business. If you've taken an accounting course, you probably know the formula commonly used to create profit from your business. It is business income, take away expenses, equals profit. At Keller Williams, we do this, and we do profit share. We look at our company's business expenses after the income and create profit and give back to our agents in the form of profit share. While the formula to calculate profit is important, it is not the model we use to set and track our profit goals each month, each quarter, each year. Instead, we ask ourselves the following strategic questions in your participation guide. Oh, I'm sorry, I had you on the wrong 20 page. What are we on? What are we on for you? 20.9, not 19. The flow of money. So let's take a look. Profit. How much money do I intend to have in the bank account by the end of the year? What's your magic number? Income. How many homes do I need to sell to achieve my profit goal? expenses. How can I minimize my expenses to maximize my net income? Thinking of it this way helps focus on profit rather than income. So we're clear, where does the real estate income come from? Remember, income is what you get first, and then we take out the expenses to find profit. So income, where does that income come from?
Commission?
GCI.
It's your GCI, good. It's your commissions. It's transactions with buyers and transactions with sellers, right? Referrals. And something we do a little bit less here in Southern Oregon, but it is still common in the real estate industry, and that's working with leases, with lessors and lessees. But it's income is what you get paid for doing. It's what you trade for your time, right? You're trading time for money. We're just doing it at a higher rate here at Keller Williams than they're doing it at Taco Bell. Now let's talk about expenses. There are two types, cost of sales and operating expenses. I'm going to say that again, and I want you really to hear me when I say cost of sales and operating expenses. The cost of sale only occurs when you have a transaction. Okay, only when you get paid do you have a cost of sale. It's commission-based. Operating expenses occur every day in your business when it's in operation. It's what we like to call invoice-based, right? It's what you're paying each month to stay in business. So again, cost of sales only occurs when you have a transaction, and an operating expense occurs every day your business is in operation. It's important to understand the cost of being in business with a market center. The cost of sales, remember, this is what's coming from your commission, are the company dollar, royalty, and any referral fees owed to referring partners. If you have employees involved in the transaction as well, i.e. a transaction coordinator, these expenses will fall under the cost of sales as well. The company dollar that the agents pay is determined by each market center and will vary by market center. Royalty is capped at $3,000 with Keller Williams. You'll also have operating expenses, the expenses you incur to run your business, whether you're earning anything or not. Again, just to be clear, when you have no transactions, you have no cost of sales. However, there are always operating expenses to cover. All right, in your workbook, you'll see a checklist of best practices to having a smart money business. And that's on page 20.9 on the second half of the page. This list is a great way to put yourself on a path that will ensure your financial well-being. You'll be able to check off the first item on this list, given your experience now in determining your big why. Go through the list And let's talk about the importance of each item. So we've checked off gain clarity on our big why and your future plans. Setting a personal and business budget is really important, especially as you're working through your first and second years. Your first year is going to be really a learning experience on that because you're not going to have a set income, right? Your income is going to be determined whether or not you close the deal. But having a personal budget is really important. We can only control what we spend those first couple of years, right? Set up your business entity. You don't have to be an LLC or a corporation to be in real estate, but it does help at some point to talk with a professional about whether or not that it makes sense for you and your business. Open additional bank accounts for taxes, expenses, and other savings if you haven't already. It's good to have a business checking and a business savings, and then your personal account. Your money, your gross commissionable income after, so your net income after we take splits goes into that business checking account. And then from that, you pull your savings for your taxes. I'm going to refer back to this slide here. So your personal account's going to get the money for your savings account, and your federal savings, your taxes need to get dumped into savings, and your business bank account, business checking account needs to have the money in it for your operating expenses, your invoices and stuff. They've got that all coming out of the personal account, but I like to have the taxes and federal in my business savings account because it's the business that's paying the taxes. All right. We've got the MREA chart of accounts that we can get to you to download. I recommend using an accounting and tax software. TurboTax has a really good one if you're not working with a CPA to kind of help track those expenses. Hire an accountant or CPA, tax attorney, tax advisor. Set dates to calculate and pay your estimated taxes. And prepare for your future, insurance, savings, and investments. And even if you're not paying quarterlies, I recommend that you look at your income, your profit off of each commission check and make sure that you've got that 38% in your tax account so that when tax time rolls around, you're ahead of the game. Think about who you know that might be able to help you, an accountant, a CPA, somebody you already know. And what better way to lead generate and find valuable resources than to call your sphere and start asking them who they recommend. Your trusted friends and family, I'm sure will have someone that they would just love for you to be working with. And vice versa, they can give them your name as their realtor. What a great opportunity to remind your friends and family that you're in real estate and ask for referrals as well. We're going to talk a little bit about no one succeeds alone. It might be something you've heard before. The best power partners and mentors are people that know more than you and that can help guide you through these things. And I've got a really quick script for when you're calling your sphere. You just let them know, hey, I'm growing in my business. Who do you know that's a CPA? Everybody loves to give advice. All right, raise your hands. Who wants more success in their career? Yay! Jen, will you read the saying on the screen, the quote on the screen?
Think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Average is as average does. Good is as good does. And great is as great does. What you do is who you become.
Act the wage you want. Has anybody heard this before? What are your thoughts on this quote?
I like the wage part, act or think and act the wage. You know.
Anybody hate it? It's funny because people's perception of what somebody's wage is so individualized. But I think when we talk about acting your wage, we act about being smart with money, right? People that are high earners are smart with money. They're reinvesting their money. They're not out buying fancy flashy unless they've got the money to spend on the fancy flashy. In order to have a smart money business, you need money. You don't intend to make an average or good money business. You expect a great money business to do great things and live your big life. Let's revisit the income goal you set for yourself in session 1. Oh my gosh, that was 100 years ago. That's going to be 1.17 in your workbook, your vision, your income goal. And take a look at what you wrote. Are you thinking and acting the wage you intend even before you've earned it? Are there any changes you'd like to make now after working on your success system and learning so much more about the real estate business? Who wants to share some things they would do more of or less of? I know Jeannie's had a couple of successful transactions. Who's had a successful closing?
I have nothing. Nothing yet.
Still working on it.
Yes.
When we look at that net income goal and we break it down using the model that's on the screen, we have a annual transaction goal. And then once we have that annual transaction goal, we break that down to a monthly transaction goal. And in the 411, we break it down into the things that we must do weekly to achieve our monthly goal, to achieve our quarterly goal, to achieve our annual goal. So turn to your participant guide for this session and let's think big. We're going to go back to page 2010. With a quick calculation and I'm not a mathlete, so I'm not expecting you to be any faster than I am. Who can tell me how many transactions they must complete each month to hit their net income goal? Anyone?
Just a little over 1 because 13 was for the annual.
Okay, good.
So I set my goals low because I kind of started late in the year, but I'm just 2 away from meeting my goals.
That's fantastic. So will you consider stretching your goals for next year?
Absolutely.
Okay. Whatever you had written down as your net income goal at day 1, let's say it was $100,000. Let's increase that by 50%. Let's make it $150,000. And then recalculate everything based on your new goal. We call that a stretch goal. How many transactions must you do now to reach that stretch goal? So before I heard like a little over 1 a month. So now we're going to be closer to a little over 2. Anybody else have a different answer for their stretch goal? Thank you guys for sharing. I know talking about income and numbers is not always comfortable. And I just want to remind you, this is a safe place. We don't talk about your income goals with anybody else after we leave the rooms here. All right, now that you have a fair understanding of how your real estate finances and how you have to have smart money business, let's discuss how to get paid. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. First, you'll have to sit down with your Market Center administrator or your PC coach to go deep into this, but I'm just going to give you the 10,000 foot view here. You'll use Command to submit your commission request in opportunities. This process does require the agents to create an offer. So I'm sure you've dabbled in Command a little bit. You've got your database in as your contacts. And as you move your contracts through the offer process, once you create an offer and accept an offer, you'll be able to submit a commission request. Some of you have had the opportunity to do that. Some of you have not. It's okay to go in there and make a fake one and kind of move it through the process. You might want to let your reviewing principal broker know that you're doing that so that when they see some oddball 1, 2, 3 sample street show up in their queue, they know it's just you practicing Command. And we have a couple of links, answers.kw.com is an article that you can read. It's answers.kw.com. If you search commission request, or there's a link in your participant guide. I don't see it. It says it should be in there. I'm in the wrong section. You should be. No, I don't see it there. I'll make sure you guys have the link. you can get in and kind of watch a little video on how to submit a commission request for an opportunity. All right. What are your ahas about a smart money business? Any questions? Lots of questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, can you hear me okay?
Mhm.
So I was just adding percentages. Maybe I have this wrong, but say, so, and I'm in the coaching program, so I do the 30%, and then my coach gets 15%.
The 15 comes off the top. Referrals come off the top.
Okay, so am I thinking of that wrong then? Like 30% to the market center plus another 15 to the coach?
So what, say your commission is $5,000, and then 15% of that 5,000 goes to the coach, and then the balance, 30% of the balance goes to the market center.
Okay.
So we always work off the balance, and all referrals are paid off the top before the market center gets paid.
Okay. Because I was adding it up. I'm like, so 30 to the market center, 15 coach, 38 taxes.
You're like, that's 140%. I'm paying to be a realtor.
Money.
Yeah. And here's what I know about the productivity coaching program. Every agent that goes through the productivity coaching program with the intent to listen and actively participate in the homework and the skills that you're created, you'll do 2 to 3 more transactions a year than if you haven't done productivity coaching. So if you're just organically amazing and you're going to do 5 transactions a year, you could have 8 by attending productivity coaching.
Gotcha.
And you get amazing coaches to help the offers on the weekends and in the evenings when the office is closed and when most of those things happen.
So I just want to clarify. So the 15% for the coach's fee comes off the gross commission.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 30% to the house at KW comes out of the balance after the 15%. Okay.
Yep.
So any 25% referral fee comes
that would
off
come
the
off
balance.
before that would come off first. The referrals come off first. So if I was referring you business,
yep,
my referral fee would come off first, then the productivity coach, and then the company dollar.
But you do taxes off the whole amount, right?
You do. That's why you have to pay attention to your tax write-offs and your business expenses. That new laptop Santa brought you. Keep the receipts. I recommend having a box. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be a pretty file. Mine looks a lot like this. And it's just full of receipts throughout the year. I just chuck them in there. And then when I go to my accountant, I'm like, here's all the stuff I had to buy. Nylons, gas, lunch, coffee when I was traveling out of town, the price that I paid for an educational seminar, all of that, the overhead to the market center, all of my invoiced expenses. Those are the ones that are going to you want to track for your business. And again, I'm not a CPA. I just play one on TV. So I let my guy handle all of the details on what is and isn't a tax deductible item. But he's really smart and he does a fantastic job for me. And I've never been to jail for past due taxes.
Does the market center, because I know you mentioned like whatever you pay them can be a write-off too. Do they send you all that at the end of the year?
Yep. When you get your W-9, I-9, I-9. When you get your statement in January, all of that'll be in there. It'll show your gross commissionable income, your profit after that income, and then you're responsible for all your expenses off of that. It should have a pretty, I haven't seen the agent breakdown. I'm not a real estate agent at Keller Williams, so I'm not sure how far they break it down, but it should break it down pretty good for you. So it's pretty easy to understand where your money went. All right, let's move on to Success Systems. It looks like we've got about 45 minutes left. And I think we can punch through this. We're looking pretty good. All right. Learning a new process is a process. We've got 3 different screens here. Here we go. You've been spending hours on your success systems, and in a minute we'll discuss your wins and your opportunities. Do you believe it's important to continue a success system after Ignite? Yeah. Why? Or why not, if you don't think it is? This is the first time I've seen it. Go ahead.
You said if you don't continue the success system, isn't that where most of your business is coming from?
I think you would be remiss not to be doing action steps every day that's going to feed your business. All right, daily success system, it has undoubtedly has been a new process for you. You've learned new ways of doing business, and you've had some wins, and you've had things that went well, and opportunities, and some areas of improvement. In your participation guide, jot down wins and opportunities from your experience with the success system. This is for you alone, so be honest with yourself and get the most out of this exercise. You may uncover some ideas that will help you in the future. So on page 20.11, what went well with your accountability partner? Having 10 conversations a day, adding 10 contacts into your database, lead generation through social media, adding enrichments to daily learning, setting appointments, getting signed agreements, closing deals, and anything else that you did to help create success in your business. And then look back at those and what challenges prevented you from completing a daily success system or doing it at your highest level. And how will you address these opportunities? This is a place where you get real with yourself about what's working and what's not working so that you can fix the things that are not working. You will not have a successful business if you don't ask yourself regularly, what am I failing at and where can I improve? If you can't get as honest with yourself in those areas, you'll perpetually make the same mistakes. And this is just for you. I'm not going to ask you to share. This is your time of reflection. I want to mention also having a desk in the market center as a tax write-off, and having a desk in the market center puts you around successful people so you can be engaging in conversations of the market and conversations of the now. I highly recommend that you find a way to spend at least 10 to 15 hours a week in the market center, surrounding yourself with people that are doing business at a high level. You'll learn so much. And even if that means you go in and you borrow a conference room and you make your calls out of the conference room or the call rooms that we provide. And then when you get to the point where you can get a desk, get a desk. It's so important to be in the market center. All right, we've talked a lot about accountability in the past and how important it is to success. As Gary Keller reminds us, no one succeeds alone. Let's review why accountability is important. Does anybody want to read off one line on the screen there? Why accountability is important? There's 4 of you and there's 4 lines. Yes.
Oh.
Keep your mindset focused. We heard you, Ashley. Thank you.
Okay.
Emily, do you want to read the next one?
I couldn't hear the first one. Did someone read the first one? Did somebody read the first one? It was all mumbled.
Yeah, Ashley did. I'll reread it. Keeps your mindset focused.
Okay, reminds you of your big why.
Sandy, will you read the next one?
Challenges you and makes you uncomfortable at times.
Yes, it does. Jeannie, are you there? She is.
Is one of your 6 personal perspectives. Be accountable.
Excellent. What forms of accountability are there?
Your coach,
Mm-hmm.
or someone that you pick.
Mm-hmm.
or someone who you've chosen as like a mentor?
Excellent. Yep. You're an accountability partner, your productivity coach in your market center, a mentor, and KW Maps coaches, a life coach. When choosing accountability partner for the future, choose a partner who is comfortable with discomfort. Accountability isn't always comfortable, and your partner needs to be willing to make you uncomfortable and willing to sit in your discomfort. Choose a partner who helps you stay accountable. For example, they will force you to write a check to a charity if you don't comply. You may think you cannot afford a coach. However, paying for a coach has proven to be highly successful. For many agents, even in their first year in business, agents with coach tend to make up the cost of coaching with their increased earnings. In my 33 years of experience in real estate, the highest producing agents stay with coaches throughout their careers. It's an important component of any kind of accountability. Coaching is to respect it, to follow it, and to be grateful for it. There are also some tools to help you be accountable. We talked about the 411 tool. The 411 tool is scheduling your priorities by setting a yearly goal and then breaking that down into monthly goals, and then the weekly tasks and behaviors that you must do to achieve those.
The 411 was super helpful for me when I went through and did all that, and like started at the top and worked my way down. It makes it a lot easier to get the things done each day that I need to get done, rather than not having that, because it makes it seem like you're not doing enough when really you break it down and it is like, if you get those things done, that's like the things that are affecting your big goal the most.
Right. When we do that income worksheet, where we're our profit worksheet, where we say this is what we want to net, and then we break it down to what we need to gross, and then we break that down to how many transactions we have to do in order to get that. Then we set that as our transaction goal in our 411, and then we break that down into those, 20 phone calls a week, 10 contacts a week, 3 in-person appointments a week, whatever that looks like for you in your business. Like you said, it's easy because you're like, oh, I hit that, I did that. I continue to do the time on tasks over time, which will help me see my end goal. Time blocking is really important, especially if you have other obligations in your life, such as children or community involvement, or even just working with buyers and sellers. If you're not time blocking your lead gen time and really protecting that, everything else will easily get in the way. Time blocking to lead gen and lead follow-up and then update your database. So important. And then The One Thing. The book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, is written by him and Jay Papasan. He's got a writing team that helps him write. Do I have it right here? I think I do. Oh my gosh. I don't. It must be next to my bed at home. I like to read it and reread it. You'll find the best practices to protect your time and maintain your energy. I recommend getting The One Thing book. Go talk to your team leader in your market center if you don't have a copy of that book, so they can help you get it. What type of accountability is going to work for you in your business going forward? Write that down in your participant guide, page 20.12. What type of accountability will you choose going forward? All right, any ahas about accountability that you'd like to share in your daily success systems?
I'm excited our market center is going to start doing that twice a month in the office.
Nice.
So we can go in and talk as a group or whatever. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm excited.
Accountability and croutons, crumpets.
Yeah, croissants.
Croissants, somethings. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
What kind of accountability? So group accountability, that's nice. Your productivity coach is still your productivity coach for your 12-month window. Anybody else have an accountability system they like? This one's going to sound funny, but every year and every 3 months, I post on social media what my goal is. So everybody that I know knows. And when they see me making posts about open houses and houses that are for sale in my neighborhood and supporting the growth of the market center, they know I'm doing what I told them I was going to be doing. I'm like, my accountability is everybody in my network. And Leslie Hilbert. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. I like that idea. All right, we talked about, does learning stop after Ignite? Do we need to stop doing all the things we learned here? And I think that's the obvious answer is no, right? In real estate, you'll always be learning something. The process of a real estate transaction is always the same, but no two real estate transactions ever pan out to work out the same. So you'll learn something in each real estate transaction that you're in, and you'll learn something with every buyer and seller that you work through a loan process with. And hopefully you'll be working with your market center to go to classes and do things and learn through the extra things that we offer at Keller Williams. So who can recall the 6 personal perspectives that talks about learning? Can you see that on your screen? Defining the 6 personal perspectives. I don't know if I can make it much bigger. The first one is commit to self-mastery. I'm going to nail it. I'm going to master this. The second step is commitment to the 80-20 principle. I'm going to focus on my big rocks. Step 3 is moving from E to P. I am purposeful about breaking through my ceiling of achievement. And step 4, make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. I am willing to be taught. I always pursue learning. And remove your limiting beliefs. I unlimit my thinking and my success. And the last one, the 6th personal perspective, is to be accountable. It's mine. I own it. Make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. Learning goes on forever. You will always find new things to learn about. The important thing is to make a plan. All right, in your participant guide on page 20.13, There are many paths of learning. For example, learning more about your local market, previewing homes so you're an expert on the inventory. And they tell me you've been learning about your market already. So what else would you do to add to this list about knowing the market? Is there anything you learned while you were out doing some of these things? Driving around neighborhoods? Going to open houses? Pulling reports and viewing the new days on markets? How many new construction?
I have a quick question. Is there a, I'd like to use the TMO reports that they send out, but is there a video that sort of tells us how to interpret those for our area?
I don't know that there's a video, Sandy, but we do a TMO class in our market center. So I would reach out to your productivity coach, whether it's Erin or Mara. And I would also talk to your team leader or whoever's helping create your schedule and finding out if they're going to do a class on TMO reports. TMO reports are very helpful. They're that weekly snapshot. We talked about CMAs, where the CMA is like a look back in time, 30, 60 days when we're pricing a home. And that TMO is like what happened in the last week in this price range. So once you price the home, then you can look back and see what happened in that price range of homes in that area. It's a great question.
I've been using that, the TMO reports that come out for my area just to like send out information every Monday on my social media. And I don't really pull any information other than like the bottom totals. So like I just say like, this is what's, you know, like the total amount of listings we have right now. These are like pending, solds, except for I don't think the solds is on there. I've been getting that from the hot sheets, but I just kind of go across the bottom of the totals for whatever I usually do Springfield. And then I share that information so people can see how it's changing each week. And I just do that once just on Mondays when it comes out.
I love that. Your job as a realtor, one of your biggest, what's the job that's going to make you most successful next to lead gen is knowing the inventory in your market. If you know the inventory better than anybody else, when somebody says, oh my gosh, I'm looking for a 3-2 in Willamette School District and I need, you know, I don't want it on one of the major streets, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly the house you need to look at. One that's been on the market for 45 days and not 4, so that we can negotiate that price for you, right? There are many paths to learning. Oh, am I there yet? Okay, Keller Williams holds 2 large training events every year. Who can tell me what they are?
Family reunion and mega camp.
Yes! It's funny, when you hear Gary talk about mega agent camp, he says it's not average agent camp. He didn't name it just doing okay agent camp. He named it mega agent camp because he's putting things in front of agents to make you a mega agent. And that camp in August is just for you. It's just about building your success. Family Reunion is a great networking. It's great education. It's got fantastic breakouts. It's a great place to network. And it's in Anaheim this year. And as long as I've known Keller Williams, I don't think I've ever seen it on the West Coast. So this is a pretty big deal. These can be expensive, but they can also propel your business to new heights from all of the learning and networking you experience. Some, if not all, of the expense of these events can be a write-off towards your education. Look into that. I'm not a CPA, find out how much of that, but definitely worth looking into. We've mentioned the books that Gary Keller and his team have written, and they're great resources to read and learn from. In addition, the catalog includes Your First Home. Oh my gosh, I have props. Your First Home. There's also a Your First Home training series so that you can do first home buyer classes. These home buyer classes are good for everyone, not just the first home buyer. So that's one to learn. You've heard the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and one that's going to be really handy in the next market shift, Millionaire Real Estate Investor. There's also Hold and Flip. That I don't have at my fingertips right now. All great books if you're working with people who are looking at getting into real estate for wealth beyond just being a residential home buyer. All right. We talked about accountability. We're talking about plans for learning. And that's my accountability worksheet right there for me. Just popped up on my screen. There are many paths for learning. For example, learning more about your local market and preview homes so that you're an expert on inventory. Where do you find the trainings for your market center? Pop quiz. I know there's lots of information coming at you at all times.
I have a question about the Palm Springs event. Do you know what that is?
The family reunion?
I don't know. I heard something's in Palm Springs in February.
That it's in Anaheim. Yeah, that's family reunion, Anaheim, the 12th through the 19th.
Okay, thank you.
And I think I don't know what the price is on it now. I think it's $1,200, not $12,000, $1,200 for the ticket, plus your airfare and hotel stay. All right, in your emails, you should be getting a calendar monthly from your market center. And in our market center, there's a calendar on the wall that resembles this calendar with all of the classes and events happening in the market center. There's also a daily digest that comes out with classes for the week. And these are all clickable links. It'll take me right to information, the Zoom link, everything. This comes out, Daily Digest comes out daily, and the sender is My Market Center is the from. This week at XBN comes out every Sunday. It is a look at what Experience Brokerage Network is offering for classes. And you can also go to experiencebrokerage.com. Oops, I think I missed it. I think it's experiencebrokerage.network.com. And there's a calendar. I hate to give bad information. Let me just confirm that. Address. Yes, it's experiencebrokerage.network.com. And there is, pop it up there for you real quick. The calendar is right there on the home page in the menu on to the left. And this will show you all of the upcoming classes in Experience Brokerage Network.
I only see the PowerPoint.
Oh, it didn't share?
No, not for me.
Okay, hang on. Oop. There now, can you see it?
Yes, thank you.
Experience Brokerage Network. The homepage looks like this. experiencebrokerage-network.com. You have to put the www in front of it when you're searching for it. And there's trainings, video library, tech help, discount codes for continuing ed. All of your logos are in there. And on the menu on the left at the bottom is the calendar, the network calendar. Clickable links that'll show you when, the Zoom link, and then if there's any collateral that you need to download, such as scripts, and then you can add it to your calendar. Everything you need as a real estate agent with Experience Brokerage Network is on that link. experiencebrokerage-network.com. All right. Let's get my, all right. And then lastly, each one of your market centers has a Facebook page that is just for the associates. Ours is called Keller Williams Southern Oregon Mastermind page, and we post classes and events on there regularly. So if you're a Facebook fanatic like me, that's a great place to just scroll through and see what's happening in the current week that you're in. All right. Page 20.13, be learning based. These are the Keller Williams courses: mindset and accountability, the 6 personal perspectives, bold, quantum leap. There's command your business, smart finances, profitability, and agent financials that we talked about earlier today. The business planning clinic. If you're hiring for associates, showing agents, staff, you want to do the career visioning class. Sales skills, there's no ceilings, level up your lead gen. Train the presenter is a fun class. It helps you do public speaking. Customer experience, win-win negotiations. You guys are going to find yourself in negotiations quite a bit. You're going to want to win. There's also diversity, equity, and inclusion classes that include the color of real estate, unconscious bias, and agent of distinction. And if you're a history geek, the color of real estate is a must read. Even if you don't go to the class, get the book. And the book is actually called The Color of Law. And it goes through how real estate laws have changed through the Jim Crow era and beyond, and it's pretty amazing. All right, do you have any questions about any of those? I know some of the market centers are doing shift tactics in the market centers. I highly recommend you get in and go to that. And you can find free and additional webinars on KW Connect. And for the younger generation on YouTube, there's lots of Keller Williams education on YouTube. All right. All right, so I'm not going to have you plan your education for the next 12 months. That would just be too laborsome with the amount of time that we have left. But please, when you have a moment, since we're wrapping up December, take a look at what's coming in January on these websites and make a plan to hit at least 2 of the network classes. Right now, what's really important is the contracts classes, because there's a lot of changes in contracts right now. And I would say probably if I had to pick another one besides the contracts class, I would be working on script practice every morning at 8:15 a.m. In script practice, you're going to learn how to have high-level conversations and deal with challenges of the moment that are happening in real estate. So the conversations around interest rates, right? And uncertain buyers and sellers that are waiting to put their house on the market till spring. That's where agents at high levels are talking about which conversations to have. So those would be the classes I would recommend, but there's many more that might spark your interest. Classes that happen regularly are State of the Industry, the second Tuesday of every month. That is your economic pulse of the real estate market. Chris Juarez and Leslie and the speakers that they bring onto that are amazing. And that should be a mandatory class for every single Keller Williams Experience Brokerage Network agent. State of the Industry, the second Tuesday. Command classes are always helpful. Command's always rolling something new out and improving. Of course, the contracts class that we spoke about. Master Series events that happen quarterly. And of course, your office's team meeting or APN or monthly partnership meeting. Each one of the market centers calls it something different. All right, any ahas? Any classes you love better than others? I can go back and tell them to fix the ones that don't work. Jen, you were in shift on Monday. Was that amazing or what?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
So good. All right. Well, we're creeping up onto the 3 o'clock hour. So I'm going to wrap it up real quick for you so that you can get on to your calls and your planning. Keller Williams' mission statement is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth living. Ignite has set you on a path to build your career worth having and your businesses worth owning. Your path does not end here. You have other designations on your journey. You have a life worth living and experiences worth giving and legacies worth leaving. After our time together, do you have a picture of what your life experiences or legacies might consist of? Any thoughts on what you want to get out there and go do with the next 3 to 5 years in your real estate career?
I just want my neighborhood to choose me for everything.
Spoken like a true realtor. Good job, Jen.
I keep seeing signs go up with other people and I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like 2 houses away even.
Did they know you were a realtor?
No.
No.
I promise next week I'm going to go out.
Don't be a secret agent.
I know.
I thought about getting some door hangers to go around my neighborhood.
Yes.
And on one side have the introduction of like who I am, but in a training I was in last week, she said, well, you have to offer something of value. So she said, everybody's buying Christmas trees right now. So what are they also thinking about? How am I going to get rid of this Christmas tree? So to have on the other side, like where people can recycle their Christmas trees, which means they're going to leave that door knocker laying around for a few weeks at least. And it keeps you in front of them. So One idea.
I'm that girl. I pin it on my refrigerator and I don't ever do whatever it tells me I wanted to remember to do, but I see their face and I'm like, oh, there's my friend. There's my friend. I know that person. Good. Anything else? Any other thoughts on what your real estate career, your experience may look like?
Too overwhelming.
There's a lot, right? It's a lot. It's the fire hose. It's a lot. All right. There's one more exercise, and we're going to bust through it really fast. No, there's a couple. We're going to bust through them really fast. Get real about your situation. Get right about what you're doing. Bring a greater sense of clarity, priority, and focus to your work. Before our final exercise of learning in this course, let's look at the quote from The Shift, that one I just read, because it speaks to the truth about success in this business. In order to achieve your life worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving, you must get real about your situation and get right about what you're doing. Bring a greater sense of clarity and priority and focus to your work. We're going to do this real quick. Take 5 minutes to pull together your future plan for the next 12 months on one page of your participant guide. Your future plan is on page 20.14. You can complete the table and then remove it from your guide or take a picture of it and keep it with you at all times to keep you focused and on track for your success. All right, guys, I'm going to stop my screen sharing. Maybe stop and get over here to the maybe it's on my little screen chat. There's my chat. All right. And I'm going to drop in the link so that you can fill out the questionnaire. Maybe somewhere it's in here. I'm going to let you do your calls on your own today because we're right up at the top of the hour. Go ahead and work through the last part of that, of your workbook. Here we go. We want you to go to kwueval.com. Select the course instructor. I believe that's going to be your PC coach. And share your feedback about your experience in Ignite. All right, we've moved from our final success system where we work together while supporting one another. And of course, you'll keep doing your success systems after Ignite. Those of you who have not been through a full panel will come back and join us for the first portions of this that they've missed. The new Ignite schedule is out, and that rolls out on the 9th is the orientation. And then Spark Your Career is on January 10th. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm the team leader at Keller Williams Southern Oregon. My email is kwsoleader at KellerWilliams at kw.com, KWSOLEADER at kw.com. My phone number is 541-261-3691. Feel free to reach out to me anytime for support, accountability, just to brainstorm. I've been doing this a long time. And like I said, I want to leave. I want to be an impact player and leave a legacy to my family. I want to participate in and teach wealth building and create successful people in my wake. And I hope that I can help be part of your success as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
for hanging
you.
out with me this afternoon.
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.